Man Hour. You already know. It's live. It's raw. It's going down. Like this. I'm going around and letting everybody know that they welcome to the show. It's the littest thing you ever seen, you already know. Let me introduce you to your host of the hour. It be Mike and Mike. Yeah, it's the Man Hour. Got the hottest plays, all the breaking news. Every rumor, every trade, every breaking bruise. Tighten knuckle screws. Yeah, it's going down. Have you saying what the fuck and never watered down? It's going down. I'll be rolling up. And if you buy it or you sell it, then you made the cut. Watch me flip it back. I can double up. I got sriracha for that ass, I'ma burn it up. Gotta check the rules, but know that it be fair foul. Rep throw the whistle, coach throw the towel. We can do this on the field, on side the lines. It's the Man Hour though, now we going live.
And what is up, guys? Welcome to the Mike and the Mike Man Hour. Mike on the mic right here. There you go, Mikey Reeves for you. Guys, this is Michael Buckhouse, your Mike and Mike Man Hour, live, raw, uncut sports talk, coming at you on the Thursday edition of the sports show. And always, we got the special guest on. We got Tip with us today for the next few weeks, if not few months, if not few years. Who knows, Tip?
What's
how's your
up?
day going so far, man?
Man, it's great, man. It's great. How about yours?
It is going amazing. It is swimmingly.
Cool.
It is Thursday. The best thing about high school football on Thursdays is you don't do shit and you get free food. So I'm absolutely excited about Thursdays and Friday when we're going to whoop Jenny County's ass just for all those people out there.
There you go.
So, guys, Tuesday we talked on the show. We had the NFL Power Rankings. I let you guys know how incredibly horrible those Power Rankings are. And we have the man himself, Matt Benz.
Yeah.
Benz
Yeah.
What is going on, Benz?
What's going on, boys? Thanks for having me on once again. It's a great week. Especially, I'm a married man now, so it's legit.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So Benz, I play my wife in fantasy football this week. In the trash talk group, you said to whoop her ass. Clearly, you have not been married for very long because you know that's not going to happen.
You know, it's funny. In my vows, I actually had wrote that I won't keep score even when I know I'm winning. That was actually in my vows. And,
good luck on that.
It got some
Good
good
luck
laughs.
on that.
I was pretty much bawling when I was saying it, so it was all right. But you know, it is what it is. Put that thing on, man. Put that thing on. I'm telling you.
So for you guys that don't know, I am in the office right now, and I got reprimanded for not wearing a mask when I'm the only one here. So Mike Reeves, like our guy from Twist Sports here, says no. So I'll just let the comment be as is. So Benz, you released your power rankings last Tuesday, and we had the rankings for you, and you had number 10, San Francisco 49ers, number 10, Tampa Bay Bucks, number 8, New England Patriots, number 7, New Orleans Saints, 6, Seahawks, 5, Bills, 4, Baltimore Ravens, 3, Pittsburgh Steelers, 2, Green Bay Packers, and 1, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Many people on the show saying, why do you have the San Francisco 49ers in the top 10? I'm going to give you the platform to justify the answer. Why do you have the 49ers in the top 10 still?
So for me, it's kind of like what I do on a week-to-week basis is if a team does well with what they're given, and they were in my power rankings last week, I'm not going to take them out. They still edge in at the 10 spot for me. I personally like Nick Mullins more than Jimmy G, just because I feel like he doesn't have to play with that chip on his shoulder. He can go out there and play like almost like Case Keenum played for the Vikings back when the miracle happened. So that's why I have San Fran still in there. I think when Debo comes back, that will add even more firepower, and we'll see what happens with Mostert, see if they can get him back as well. But they just find a way to win with what they have, so that's why they're at 10.
Well, the only reason why they won because they played the Giants, right? I mean,
Sure.
I mean,
Yep.
Right. I mean, so basically, your power rankings are in a cumulative power rankings, right, from week to week to week. So they build on each other.
Right. Correct. Yep.
Okay. Because Tip was asking that question, like, hey, what exactly are the power rankings? Are they week to week? Are they cumulative, etc.? So, Tip, you are a man of many, many words over there.
I don't know if that's good or bad. I should take that as a compliment or not.
Yeah, what was the biggest red flag you had at the power rankings last week? Or Tuesday, I should say.
In all honesty, I liked them all. Was Tennessee 6 or 7? I don't have it in front of me right now.
You don't have Tennessee up there?
Tennessee was not on my power ranking.
Okay, good. I don't know why they crossed my mind. I guess because maybe Derrick Henry's on my fantasy squad or something like that.
Maybe because they're 3-0.
Yeah, that could be too. That could be. Well, Chicago's 3-0, and they're not in there either. So
thank God.
But that being said, I may probably San Francisco, maybe Baltimore. They could maybe drop a little. I think Baltimore may be overrated a little bit, just in the NFL in general, just because of their team. They got a great team, but man, I think their offense is going to struggle. But
they're a quarterback away.
No, I wouldn't say that. I think Lamar is all right, man. I think it's the receiver. Well, Lamar's got to throw better, but again, you have to have better players to throw to. So the better players make the difference. They can always make a quarterback look good or bad. So because you're dependent upon them so much. But I think San Francisco being in the spot they're in, honestly, when they get their players back, as I said yesterday, how are you ranking them? Are you ranking them what they are on paper, because of what they have, or are you ranking them by how they're playing now and what they have? So they're still winning. And I think when their players come back, man, if Bosa can make it back, if a couple of running backs or something, they have a powerful team and they have good coaching, and they're in a division. I don't know if anybody can challenge them there, honestly, except for Seattle. I don't think Arizona challenges this year. I'm not sure that the Rams can challenge for the division, maybe for a wild card spot, but not the division. I still think when San Francisco gets all their players back, I think the 49ers are maybe even higher than 10 because they just have a really solid team on both sides. And to your point, Benz, I kind of like Mullins too, and I'll tell you why. I think he's a gunslinger. So if you put a gunslinger like Fitz or Jameis Winston, a lot of people say Jameis Winston's not a good NFL quarterback, but man, he's gold in fantasy. And so I put them in that gunslinger, slot. And I think Mullins is a gunslinger, and I think he just gets out there and fires the ball, and he might give them a better shot at winning than Jimmy G does.
So, Bensby, before you react to what he just said, Tip, I gotta confront you, man. San Francisco does not have good coaching whatsoever. We saw that in the Super Bowl. They were up 28-3, right, in the Super Bowl, and they abandoned to everything that they knew to get to that point, and they started pushing the ball down the field because they thought, "Oh my God, Kansas City Chiefs are throwing the ball, they're scoring," and it's like
the same as Baltimore did Monday night. They abandoned the run.
And really, the point of the coaching is, I'll chime in, is I think San Fran has great coaching during the regular season. I think they have great coaches to get them to the playoffs, just like Lamar is a great quarterback during the regular season. When he's not before. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've heard it too. I wonder where I got that. But that's the thing about it is I think Shanahan is a very creative quarterback, but for some reason when it comes down to crunch time, he throws creativity out the window and goes old school. When he's not an old school coach, he is a form of new school. So, yeah, I like San Fran. I still think they're a playoff team this year, and we'll see what happens.
And it doesn't matter on the coaching. The players still got to play. So, you still got to get out there and perform. You're making a lot of money. You're playing a game that you're on the highest level to perform at. You got to play, man. It's a game. Play it like you did when you were a kid and go out there and get it done. But, as a coach of kids myself, I understand you can draw up all the plays you want, man. But if they don't get out there and perform it and do it, what are you going to do? So.
Well, I can tell you my Floyd Central how Highlanders are going to perform on Friday night. Jenny County's ass. But just to chime into Mike Reeves here.
That's my wife's alma mater, so we'll be going for the Highlanders. Yep.
That's where our son
will be going to high school soon. So, yeah.
Reeves says San Francisco is the worst team in that division this year.
Sure.
that is a very good possibility because the rest of the division is so much better. I mean, like
It is.
I was sleeper on the Rams, and I actually have them sliding into my top 10. I believe at number 7 because of what they've done. So, I mean, yes, San Francisco might be the worst team in that division, but they're still a 500 to 600 ball club, even though they're going to miss
So you can honestly say that Arizona is better than San Francisco, and they're a playoff team.
Yeah, I
this
actually had
this year, team wise.
I had Arizona
not
second
just their
in
3-player nucleus and their coach, the whole team. You think they're a playoff team?
Yeah,
you think they could get there
second
before
in that
any
division.
of the 3 teams in there? Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I actually had them splitting with Seattle, sweeping the Rams, sweeping the 49ers. So,
Okay.
so yeah, I am high on the Arizona Cardinals this year, as I am high on the Detroit Lions, and the Detroit Lions beat Arizona Cardinals, so therefore that 10-cent season is still alive, right, Ben?
I think they're just going to have that season just because they're young.
Well, I mean, Arizona, too, you look at their next 2 weeks. I mean, they're going to walk. If they lose in the next 2 weeks to either the Panthers or the Jets, I mean, there's something wrong. When they play the Cowboys in 3 weeks, that should be a good test to see if they are a playoff contender, and that's where it is. But with the Cardinals' schedule, I mean, that division in of itself is so competitive because all it takes is 2 bad weeks and a team like San Fran continues to rise up and take advantage of it, or vice versa. Any team in there, they're all competitive. So it's a great division.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, after watching the first 3 weeks of the NFL season, it would not be surprised me if that NFC West division, if everybody is 9-7 or better. I mean, it is going to be a very, very competitive.
Do you think they get
division.
3 teams in?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like, and especially since they're expanding it to, that extra team like in there. So yeah, it's pretty much a lock. So Benz, I have to raise the obvious elephant in the room here. You have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming in at number 9. Mm-hmm. They lost to the Saints. Saints, you still have in the top 10 somehow, some way, even though they are 1 and 2.
Yep.
Explain your reasoning of the Bucs in the top 10 there.
Sure. So, I mean, the Bucs in of itself, they're tied for second in takeaways, so their defense is holding up in that part of the game. I think they really need to figure out their running game, but they have the weapons to do so. I think they'll really come into their mold, especially with this week against the Chargers. I think that's going to be a W in of itself. Can Godwin come back with these nagging injuries? Can he come back and add that second firepower? That's huge in of itself as well. But yeah, Bucs are in the top 10, without a doubt, in my mind.
Agreed.
And I disagree because I think the Bucs are probably one of the most overrated teams in the all of NFL. Yes, they will be 10-6, 11-5 going forward because of the easy ass schedule. I think their hardest opponent are the Saints, and the Saints are falling flat on their face right now. And speaking of falling flat on their face, you have them at number 7. They got beat by the Packers, which is a very, very good Packer team, I might add.
Incredibly
beat
good.
The Bucs. So, so explain to me why you still have the Saints up there.
I still have the Saints up there just simply because I feel like they are better than 2 of the 3-0 teams right now. I think they're better than Tennessee, and I think that they're better than Chicago. And moving forward, they lost to the Pack, and if you watched that game, the Saints played horribly that whole game, and they still only lost by 7. They didn't have Big Mike. They didn't have a comfortable, what it looked like, Drew Brees, but what quarterback can get comfortable against the Pack right now? So just seeing how electric the Pack, not Kirk Cousins, Kirk Cousins can't get comfortable against anybody right now. He's not even comfortable with his wife right now, guaranteed. So, I mean, I do like the Saints, and that's probably my biggest controversial pick, having the Saints at 7, and I had to back that up in of itself. It's a tough thing to do. Believe me, it's really tough, but the big thing is that, they're taking away the rush. They're getting beat in the air. Why is Lattimore getting just ripped on constantly? What happened to those DBs in New Orleans? I think that with the right coaching, they'll be able to adjust and come back and finish strong the rest of the season, even though we're only 3 weeks in. So Saints at 7, I like it.
Tip, are you okay with the Saints being in the top 10?
From a talent standpoint, I am. again, they're kind of in that San Francisco situation. They have a major player that's injured. It puts it puts them in a big bind immediately. So you looked at Breeze. When I saw Breeze play in the Green Bay game, he just didn't look comfortable. I don't think in all my years of watching Breeze, I don't think I've ever seen him look that uncomfortable in the pocket. And it wasn't just –
or did he look old?
He looked both. He looked both to me. And that's why I went ahead and picked Jameis Winston up and put him on my bench in fantasy. But nevertheless, that being said, it shows me this. I think Drew Brees is getting old, and the fact that he doesn't have a superstar out there like Thomas right now shows his age even more. Because if you take a quarterback that has Patrick Mahomes, man, the guy spreads the ball around. He's young. He gets with it. He does what he's supposed to do. And Brees did that for a long time. But now he doesn't really – it's pretty much dump it off to Kamara and let's go with it. He doesn't get the ball up the field. He just looked very rattled, and I'm not. I think the Bucs should be rated higher than the Saints right now. I think you should probably switch them places, and I think as the year goes on, Tampa Bay moves up. If they ever get their running game figured out, they're going to move up big time.
So, Tip, I'm not for sure if you know how power rankings work. The Saints beat the Bucs, so the Saints got to be above them. I don't care if they lose the rest of the season.
Okay, they had Michael Thomas. It was the first game of the Bucs. And I think if you play the Bucs later in the year, as they're going to, I think the Bucs put it to them. I think the Bucs D is better. I do. I think they put it to them.
The Bucs will step on their dick and fall on the face.
Man, you can't give Tom Brady all that much time. So you're giving him how many ever games he's got. All those. He's got it in his mind now.
There he is.
He's got it in his mind now. He's saying, man, Breeze made me look bad. And he's going to go for it. And if Godwin stays healthy, good Lord, the guy, he can't stay healthy. If he stays healthy, if the Tampa Bay Bucs are healthy, come the next time they play the Saints, I'm going to pull a Charles Barkley. And I guarantee that the Bucs are going to whoop the Saints.
Okay.
And I think the Bucs are going to move up as the season goes on. I just think they're going to get better and better.
Let me tell you how this is going to work. Okay, Tip. First of all, the Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
Mike, please elaborate.
Tom Brady and the Buccaneers have to lose to the Saints if Tom Brady wants to continue to be the GOAT, because Tom Brady cannot face Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs and Patrick Mahomes whoop that ass, or Lamar Jackson whoop that ass, or Deshaun Watson whoop that. Anybody in the AFC cannot beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, so therefore Tom Brady can't make it to the Super Bowl because they won't win the Super Bowl. If Tom Brady wants to continue to be the GOAT year in or for the GOAT, the greatest of all time, he has to lose, and therefore he has to get a wild card spot, and he has to lose to the Saints. And I think he knows that in the back of his head, so he is going to purposely play bad against the Saints.
I'm not even sure right now the Saints make the playoffs. I'm not even sure they make the playoffs. If Michael Thomas doesn't come back anytime soon, and if another player gets hurt, you keep using Kamara, eventually, chances are he gets a sprained ankle. It sits him out a couple of games. The Saints lose those couple of games. Now they got nobody to go to. I'm not sure the Saints even make the playoffs unless they get Thomas back pretty soon. Because in the NFL, if you lose 2 or 3 games in a row, like Ben said, that can put you in a really, really deep mess at the end of the season. So,
and I think the Saints really is just a team that I firmly believe that I could go chalk with, and if you look at most people's power rankings, you're going to notice that they're fairly similar on all the big network sites, right? Yep. I'm not about that. This is a show that's airing on All Access Sports Network. We're not chalk, Right. It's all about bringing in people and bringing my point of view,
Which, even though it is wrong.
Sure.
Oh,
sure. To you, it may be. Have a couple. To me, I'm going to have a couple teams that I'm going to go all in on. I'm going to put my eggs in that basket. So if they don't work out, I look like a fucking idiot. And if they do work out, I look like the guru. So, that's why I'm going to go with the Saints. I'm going to hope that they can realize that they don't have the Drew Brees of old. They have an old Drew Brees instead. Mm-hmm. And they can, advocate and make those adjustments to make him more comfortable. Because as you can see, Drew Brees never looked as skittish in the pocket as he did this last week.
And to make two quick points about that, one for the Saints, both of them for the Saints, they are still, like you said, Ben, they are still the Saints. And they still have great coaching. They still have a lot of experience, a lot of championship experience. So you can't count them out, but you also have to understand they're in a bad spot right now. And the second, this is a question. How long does it take before the coach pulls the plug on Brees and says, Winston, your shot. It's your time. How long does it take before he does that? How many games does he give Brees? Because again, we go back to the same thing we just said. A couple of games, and it could mean death for you at the end of the season. How far do you allow your team to fall before you say, man, I love you, Brees, but I got to do my job here, and Winston's got to have his shot. You know, we got to see
without an injury. Without an injury, he ain't coming out.
I don't see it either.
You know? But you're also, Coach, you're also saying that Taysom Hill isn't in the equation for this team, which me and Buck were talking about pre-show. He is. The coaching staff still feels and still talks him up as the heir apparent to Drew Brees, which is bonkers because he's not a franchise quarterback. He's barely a quarterback in of itself.
Yeah.
But you know, everybody says, "Oh, when's Jameis coming in?" I don't know. Do you wait until there's a falling out and then try to see what you have? I doubt it because it's Drew Brees. This is his going away tour, and it is what it is, you know.
So let me answer the question for you.
But do you take the whole season for his – do you take the whole season for his –
Let me answer the question correctly for you, and it is 7 more losses. Once the Saints are officially out of the playoff race, you will see them probably working in the backup quarterback because I think Drew Brees says he wants to play one more year. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he still has 3 more years on it, on his contract, as well. So I know he's got a couple left. See. Yeah. So
for who?
Drew Brees.
No, 1 more after this, I believe, and that's if he doesn't, retire, which seems to be the underground thing is that he's done this. He knows he's done. This is it.
Yeah. So one interesting comment that
25 to 30 million a year talks too. So
yeah.
One interesting comment that I saw come across the screen was Bucks are going to bring in Antonio Brown.
I hope so. I got him in a dynasty league. Sure. Bring him in.
Why would they want AB to have there's no reason for him to bring in the Bucks.
No.
So,
I thought there was way more pull in the Saints bringing him in because they could obviously use that. I don't think Emmanuel Sanders is the rightful wide receiver 2. I thought he would have maybe gone to the Seahawks as well. That would have been electric, but DK is holding his own easily. We'll see what happens.
So Mike Reeves comes out and says Brees is out Brees is out after this year. He already has a TV spot set up.
He's got that contract.
I think he would have more fun coaching flag football in his sons. He seems to enjoy that quite a bit. So, guys, just to recap, Matt Benz's top 10 here. He has the 49ers, Bucks, Patriots, Saints, Seahawks, Bills, Ravens, Steelers, Green Bay Packers, and then the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Benz, who are those couple teams on the outside that need to win this week to get up into your top 10?
It's tough, man. I do like the Cardinals, and we've talked already about them that I feel like they have 2 gimmies, and if they get those 2 gimmies, I think they're definitely in. I think another fringe team. Unfortunately, if the Bears win this week against the Colts, and I know that's shitty because I already got a bet with Combs that the Colts are going to stomp their ass. But if they happen to pull it out against arguably the best defense right now in the NFL, they're on the fringe as well. I mean, there's 2. The Tennessee Titans, they're not playing this week. So what do you do there? It's interesting, man. There's a bunch that can still shake up. It's still too early, but yeah.
So you think if you think if the Bears win this week, they'll jump into your top 10?
Yeah, they'll probably be my 10 spot.
All right.
They almost have to be by default at 4-0 and beating Indianapolis. I mean, I was getting ready to ask you that question. If them and the Titans, of course, the Titans aren't playing, and I heard they were going to be week 7. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, I don't see how they could be 4-0 and you keep them out.
Well, I'll tell you a reason. I'll tell you one quick way how they could be 4-0 is if Phillip Rivers beats the Colts. If Phillip Rivers beats the Colts, which he's been known to beat himself plenty of times in the past, and if he makes them lose, those Bears can be 4-0 and they will not be in my power rankings.
That's fair enough.
They're already skewed the way it
What's
is.
the over-under on Rivers and his interceptions this week? Does anybody know?
Oh, I would probably say 2.5.
Two or more. Yeah.
So, Tip, you don't know Ben's very, very well, but he is a Vikings fan. And let's
I'm so
flash
sorry,
forward.
brother. I really
let's flash forward to Week 5. Okay.
Yeah.
The Vikings lose again because they're going to be 5-11 this year, like I told you earlier in July and August, right? Right, Benz. And then the Bears beat the Colts, and then the Packers win, obviously, and then the Lions win.
Mm-hmm.
You could have 3 NFC North teams in the top 10. How do you feel about that?
Well,
Yeah,
first
I
I'm
don't
going to – is that me or he? Go ahead, Ben.
Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
Hey, first of all, I'm going to have to correct you on the Detroit winning thing because that's just an oxymoron. Second of all, I don't know. Who knows what's going on with the Vikings? First, in my humble opinion, I don't think they should have gotten rid of Keenum. I think after that miraculous season, I just think they had a connection. I know people don't see it, but sometimes it's not always about talent. Sometimes it's about chemistry. And I feel like towards the end of that year, they had gotten some chemistry going. And I wasn't sure why they paid Kirk Cousins all the money that they paid him, especially
because
when
he is doing chemistry in his house and he's doing all that math, right?
Whatever's going on, man. But the guy, he really wasn't worth it coming from Washington. That's just my opinion.
Washington was pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like he was worth it. I mean, let's put it. Green Bay Greg always talks about how the Vikings should have kept Case Keenum. They shouldn't have gotten Kirk Cousins. I'm on odds with Kirk Cousins right now, and I still believe I'll still go down with the decision. Now, should we have extended him this early? I don't believe that. I don't feel like that was a horrible move. Also paying Delvin Cook, I didn't agree with that because who pays running backs nowadays? Right. But Kirk Cousins, when he was at Washington, you look at his numbers, and that's exactly what Kirk Cousins is. He is a statistic. He will have a solid fucking season, right? And he'll put together these numbers that make it look good on paper. But when you watch a guy like Kirk Cousins, especially in the first 3 weeks, last week, a little bit more of a mirage. He looked a little bit more comfortable. Who knows why that is? Because he is the roller coaster that is Kirk Cousins. He is up and down and all around.
That's what I'm saying. And he's got a good team around him. He's got he's had a great team, man. He's had great talent. I mean, you got Cook. He may not be a top 5. He's probably top 10, top 15 running back.
Oh, he's easily top 10. Easily top 10.
So he had Thielen, he had Diggs, he had Rudolph. He had a good defense. He had a good offensive line. And you
know what I think?
Now you're just dismantling the whole thing.
The big thing with the Vikings is, and we're starting to notice that, is the coaching.
Yeah.
It's the coaching, man.
It may be time
I don't want to put it all on the coaches because, honestly, there are things that a quarterback and leadership on the team that are on the field can make adjustments during a game, and they can, add to it. But the creativity is out the door, man. It's literally like you're watching a JV football team call plays with about 15 plays in the offensive playbook, and that's what they do. There's no motions. There's nothing, man.
Not like Dallas.
There's a couple of bootlegs, and that's about it, man.
Yeah.
Shots
not like
fired.
the Cowboys. But I will say this though, I think he misses Diggs. I do think, but I like Jefferson. I like Jefferson. I think Jefferson is a good up and coming wide receiver. I think he's going to fill that Diggs spot real well. And Diggs is doing pretty well in Buffalo, by the way. But I think he's
Josh Allen is
that.
doing pretty good in Buffalo. Yeah,
well,
MVP race right there.
Yeah,
but when I say that about Dallas, I say that only because Dallas has a great team. But you looked at them the other day when they had first and goal or they were in the red zone, and Dak threw 3 plays. It was 3 plays in a row, the same exact play. And it's kind of what Benz is talking about with and I'm like, hold on, you've got Ezekiel Elliott. You've got all these other weapons, and you're doing a straight fly up the sideline 3 times in a row to the end zone, and neither time was he. And I look at the Vikings, That's kind of what Benz is talking about. It's just the same plays. And you've got all these weapons, you've got all this talent, and then you just run the same plays. And it's like, come on, man. You got to do something different. So I think Benz might be onto something there. It could be the coaching.
Yeah, you guys are on the coaching so bad here, but if those plays would have worked, I'm like, oh, that guy is a genius. Stop being a Monday day quarterback here, and like the Cowboys were obviously seeing something there. I mean, so it's definitely so.
They seen another L is what they seen. That's what they saw was another L. Bam.
So
they're just a few seconds, a minute or two, less than 2 minutes away from being 0-3. I mean so
who are you talking about now?
Dallas.
They are also a flag away from being 2-1.
Come on, that's okay. Touche.
I mean, if you want to go that route, the Browns are 80
their
points
play
away
calling
from
is a lot like Minnesota's. Their play calling is a lot like Minnesota's. They're both kind of drab and boring in the same plays, and it's like you got all this talent, mix it up.
So, Benz, before we let you go,
Yeah,
Jameson put in his top 10 here. I'm going to bring it up here on the screen. We've been ripping yours apart up and down. I'm going to give you the opportunity to rip Jameson's up and down. He has Chiefs at 1, Ravens at 2, Packers 3, Steelers 4, Seahawks 5, Bills 6, Titans 7, Buccaneers 8, Bears 9, and the 10 Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, interesting enough, I do think that the Patriots go above the Titans and above the Bucks.
The Bears.
The Bears, yeah, that in of itself is counterfeit. I mean, they just had to bench their starting quarterback. Their franchise quarterback has now been taken out of the game. Oh, Mike Reeves. Oh, yeah, you decided to pop in. You're talking all that trash. Hold on, I'm picking this apart here. I don't believe the Ravens should be at number 2. I think Packers go number 2 just simply because of their quarterback and the flow and the chemistry that they're showing week in and week out, just stomping teams into the ground. And I'm a Minnesota fan. I am saying that the Packers are stomping people in the ground.
I just want to know if Delonte West left you in coach's embalming fluid before he went into treatment, because you're clearly smoking it, both of you.
Why? What's going on, Reeves?
Mullins? Cousins?
What? No, I said Mullins is better than Jimmy G.
Mullins is better than Cousins.
Oh, I don't know.
Whoa.
Mullins can't even play on a team unless somebody gets hurt. He's hot trash.
You can say the same thing about Nick Foles, though, too.
So it's Cousins.
Right.
He's hot.
Horrible.
No one's saying that Nick Foles is good.
No, nobody
Coombs is.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, exactly. No, I think Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback certain weeks. That's just it.
Right.
That's it. You don't know what you're going to get.
You make the money he makes, and you should be a good quarterback pretty much every
Wait now. You make the money he makes. He's middle of the road in new signings. So what are we talking about, Coach?
He's making more than me and you sitting here.
Well, yeah, I'm not a freaking franchise quarterback, Coach. I'm 5'6", man. I throw loaves of bread on a daily basis.
Money to do what he does, and he's got a great team around him. I just think he should be doing better.
He's got great players around him. He does not have a great team around him. That's the problem with the Vikings.
That's fair enough.
So,
Vikings
Reeves.
suck. Thank for Trevor.
All right, guys. On that note, guys, we are going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we are going to break down the Jets versus the Broncos coming up on Thursday Night Football, and also we got the COVID game happening as well. So, guys, we'll be right back here on the Mike and Mike Man Hour. We'll be right back.
Bye.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes are here with Tip and Benz. Hope you guys are joining the show so far. Head over to MikeandMikeManHour.com. Pick up some merchandise. We got some T-shirts, hats, and hoodies over there for those of you that are into those type of things. Also, you can drop a donation as well if you would like as well. We still got Tip on the show here. We still got Benz. And Benz, during the break, a comment came across the screen.
Yeah.
Jameson, my man, he says, coaches that should be fired, Jets coach, Vikings coach, Jaguars coach, Texans, Eagles, and Lions coach. We're going to throw a curveball at you guys here. And like, Benz, do you think the Vikings, Mike Zimmer, should be fired? You are a Vikings fan.
I agree.
Yes. Don't even have to think about it.
But like, why? Because of the play calling? Because of the lack of motivation?
New blood.
It's you know, kind of like Coach just said, new blood, but also it's just from what I hear from Minnesota fans in general, man, it's just what he's tried to do hasn't worked. It hasn't worked, man, and it's unfortunate. I don't think he's a bad defensive coordinator. I think he's an elite defensive coordinator. But when it comes to being a head coach, and there isn't anything he's said to these guys that he hasn't said in the past. There isn't. His time here has been spent. I think he's a great dude, but when it comes to that, I agree with the Jets. I think the Jets will have a new head coach starting tomorrow. I think he'll be fired. Gase will be out the door tonight when they lose. Vikings, yes. Jaguars, that ain't going to happen, unfortunately, I don't think yet. I think they'll still wait. Texans, who knows what's going to happen there?
Honestly, the Texans should have filed Bill O'Brien 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously there's hope for them, I guess, in that. Eagles, I don't see him going. I mean,
they need to fire Carson Wentz, honestly.
Oh my God, what a tragedy that's been this year. But the Lions, Patricia, I don't see that happening either. They're trending in the right direction. I don't think it's going to be this year, but they are trending in the right direction and they're competing. But if you look at it, I mean, every year they look like they're going to be star-studded, and then things happen. You know, Kenny G's constantly on the injury report, things like that. So there's too many variables, but I definitely believe that Gase won't have a job tomorrow. He shouldn't have a job. The dude's easily he shouldn't coach 6th grade football. So
all right. So guys, it is that time where we are going to talk about the Thursday night game here. Like, we had the New York Jets take on the Denver Broncos. Benj, you already kind of gave us your take a little bit. You think the Broncos are going to probably win tonight's game.
Yep.
Tip, I'm giving you the floor. Tell me who is going to win this game and why.
If on paper, I'm looking at it and I say the Broncos win. They're just more talented in all places. But I'm going to pick the Jets tonight. And I think the reason is one, I'm an odds guy, and I think the Jets are just due. The second part of that is I just think Sam Arnold is due for a good game. I think he's a better quarterback than his coaching allows him to be. I think he needs a lot of help at offensive line, and now you got Bell out, so who runs the ball? I think he's going to come out and just start firing, and he's just going to be throwing it up the field. I mean, what do you have to lose? And I think the Jets are going to come out tonight as the winner. But I will say this: I agree with Benz. I think their head coach, Gase, I think he should be fired immediately. Yeah, he's been to 2 places now. He's been to my Dolphins. Don't laugh, guys. Don't laugh. He's been to my Dolphins. He's been to my there you go. He's been to my Dolphins, and now he's at the Jets, and it's kind of the same old story. And I had someone tell me a while back, a bunch of years ago, they were like, man, if everybody's saying the same thing and you're the only one saying something different, how's everybody else wrong and you're right? So I look at the same thing when you look at Gase. It's like fans like us sitting here talking about it. We know that Gase is not the answer, and he's just a horrible coach. So what keeps him there, I have no idea, but I think he should be gone. And I think Sam Darnold would do better if he had a younger coach who was a quarterback kind of coach, an offensive kind of guy that would let him go out there and just let the ball fly, because they have good receivers. They do have decent receivers, and I just think they got to go out there and put it together, man. I don't see why he doesn't go out and just let it fly tonight. What do they got to lose?
Yeah, you are 100% correct on the coaching aspect here. When he was with the Miami Dolphins, he literally paid teams to take away Ryan Tannehill, and you saw what he did in Tennessee last season, lead them to the AFC Championship game.
Sometimes it's just about fit. That's all.
But and then just to add to your point there, that Sam Darnold needs a quarterback type of coach, Jason Garrett comes to mind. Yes, Jason Garrett didn't do great as a Cowboys expect him to do, but I believe he had like 600 or 700 winning percentage there when he was in Dallas with very, very productive offensive years. And add to another point there, they have Le'Veon Bell in the backfield, and when they consistently have 7 to 8 guys in the box, play after play after play, you have to air the ball down.
You have to air the ball. And Darnold has the arm to air the ball, and he's got the mentality. He has the mindset to air the ball and make good passes. I've seen him do it, and I don't know why he's not allowing him to do that. But now you have no running backs in the backfield.
Yeah, Frank Gore.
Like I said, you got no running backs in the backfield.
The infinite one, Frank Gore.
Yeah, the ageless wonder. But he might get you. You know what? He can run the ball and keep the defense honest enough.
Don't they got Balaj? Don't they got Kalen?
Yeah,
I don't know.
And they have no running backs in the backfield. Do I have to say how many times do I need to say no running back? But if he can get you 50 to 75 yards, carry the ball 15, 20 times just to keep the defense honest and allow Darnold to air the ball out. If their guys will catch the ball, they've got good receivers. They got, Denver's not really great. They don't have good defensive backs, and they got Simmons in the safety. But other than that, they're kind of skittish too. So I don't see why you don't take advantage of it and just let him go out there and just do his thing, man. And I think he will tonight, and I think the Jets are going to pull it out.
So just to add everything that you said, Benj, you have the Broncos winning this game, and I'm going to tell you why they're not going to win this game, because they have a third string quarterback starting on a short week.
Ripping, baby, he's about to let it rip.
He is going to let it rip right into the ground because he's getting sacked all night long. That New York Jets defense is highly underrated. They are a very, very good team. They've had good draft picks the last couple years, and I see them going to exploit that rookie or that third string quarterback. Yeah. And yes, the Broncos have Melvin Gordon still, but they're going to run into the same problem that the Jets had when Le'Veon Bell was in there. They're going to have 8 to 9 guys in the box every play. Sure. Cortland Sutherland is out for the whole year.
Yep. So you got Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy is their number one receiver, and a third string quarterback is not going to rely on a rookie receiver. But add to the point there, the tight ends for the Broncos, his name is slipping my mind right now.
F-A-N-T, Fant.
Yes. So I think he is going to have a good game tonight. And if you were in the parlay bets, any bet that he is in, I'm taking the over, and I'm betting fans all night long.
He's all they have.
So with that being said, I am picking the Jets because I pick with my head. And on Thursday Night Football, the home team wins 85% of the time when it's a time zone change. And the Denver Broncos are in Mountain Time Zone. New York Jets are in Eastern Time Zone, right?
Correct.
Give me the Jets give me the Jets in this one. It wouldn't be surprised me if it's a 3-2 score. I mean, it is going to be that ugly.
I think the Jets are going to smash them. I think the Jets are due for a good game. I really do. I think they're due for a good game, and I don't think Fant has a good game. Just my opinion. And I'll tell you why I think that. The Jets, you commented on their defense, they have great safeties, decent linebackers, and they have good cornerbacks. Fant is all they have. So he's going to be going over the middle a lot. He's going to be doing those short 10 to 20 to 30-yard passes. That's where they thrive at. I think they shut him down. You box up that line. You give Gordon a few yards, but nothing to work with. I think the Jets smash him. I think the Jets score 20-plus points tonight.
So as Mike LeBlanc jumps into the chat here, he says he wishes the game was at home for the Broncos because he is in Colorado right now joining his vacation. So LeBlanc, who do you have? Because right now your picks are horrible, my man. If you guys want to get correct picks, pick everything opposite of what LeBlanc does. I'm just going to tell you right there. but LeBlanc says the Jets win as well.
Interesting.
So
I'm gonna just put it out there. My score for tonight is going to be Broncos 21.
Okay.
And then it's going to be Jets 9.
Are they doing all field goals, or are they going to miss a PAT?
I'll do that exactly opposite, except
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing myself. So,
all right, guys. So we have a viewer by the name of Xander Popklin popping in here. We were going to have Matt McPeak on with some fantasy advice, but he is not with us right now because so he is asking us a fantasy question here. He has Patrick Mahomes and Like and Clark, or should he start Jonathan Taylor and Newton? The correct answer is always start Patrick Mahomes. You have the best quarterback in all of NFL. Cam Newton, yeah, he might win the game versus the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday, but he's not going to wow you with like stats. It's going to be like 150 yards passing, 30, 40 yards rushing on the ground. Benz, what are your thoughts on that one?
I have Mahomes in the 2 leagues that I won this week, and I shouldn't have won in both of those leagues. Let's just put it that way. I mean, going into that night, waking up and realizing that I won at 2:00 in the morning was crazy in of itself. I'm wondering if when he says Chark, he's talking about DJ Chark?
Probably, yeah.
I believe so.
So that's a question anyway. I like Jonathan Taylor. Cam's just going to get you that steady 16, 17 fantasy points. Yep. And if you have a super flex, that's fine. But Mahomes over everything. It's that simple.
Same thing with you, Tip. So actually he corrected me. He is asking if that is a good trade.
Never trade Mahomes.
Yeah, never trade Mahomes.
Is he trading or is he receiving Mahomes?
Yeah, that's like if you are trading Mahomes, you do not trade Mahomes.
You do not trade Mahomes.
100%.
No, if you're receiving, go for that all day. You didn't even have to ask us for that. I mean, but I will tell you this: Mahomes is so good that this week I faced him, and my quarterback in the league that faced him was Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson just exploded this week. Yeah, in the league I'm in a different type of league a little bit. I don't know if y'all have heard this. You probably have, but I'm in a league where we pick defensive players and not defensive teams.
Those are
so
tough.
It's not like the ESPN league where you pick a defensive team like the Patriots or whatever. I'm in a league where and linebackers and safeties are a premium. They're the ones that score the points and such. Easily. So I had Russell Wilson, and it's a keeper league. So I had Russell Wilson from last year. He scored like 60-something points in my league. Mahomes like 72 or something. Yeah. So the only quarterback in the league that could actually top Russell Wilson that day was the quarterback I faced, and he's the only one. So I wouldn't care if you were giving me 5 players for Mahomes. Mostly they're not going to add up to his scores on a weekly basis. So you never Mahomes. Yeah.
And I like that, Coach. And Buck, I saw Xander in there. He was talking about how, he would be receiving Mahomes, and his friends are saying not to get rid of Jonathan Taylor. Now, that makes sense, and it really is dependent on what your depth looks like on your roster. If you have a steady quarterback currently like Cam, and you've been winning with Cam, and you need help, you need that running back, then stay. I mean, it's easy to say take Mahomes because it's that nice shiny toy that everybody wants to have, but it really depends on where you're at.
What does your roster need? Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that if you have Cam Newton as your starting quarterback, your roster needs Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
What if his other running backs is like, you know what I mean? What if his other running backs are Le'Veon Bell and James Conner, who's not going to play this week, and he's looking for a W.
If you have Le'Veon Bell, you should drop him instantly because I believe he's out for the season.
Sure.
And you should look at picking up the backup running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, or I think Adrian Peterson is free in like 75% leagues as well. I look for Adrian Peterson to I look for Adrian Peterson to really start getting the bulk of the carries because I believe Swift is still hurt with a nagging hip injury or something to that effect. And Peterson is with that same offensive coordinator that your Minnesota Vikings had in 2009 to 2011 when he had 5,000 to 6,000 yards over those like that span of 3 or 4 years. Right. So,
but do you get more production out of Patrick Mahomes and Adrian Peterson on a weekly basis, or do you get more? And if you're trading for Patrick Mahomes, if you've already got quarterbacks on your bench, maybe you got like Josh Allen or somebody else on your bench that's
trade bait.
Yeah, So you
I get what you're trying to say, Coach, but I mean, when I tried to sell myself on not taking the Mahomes in that deal, and there's no way I would not take it. I'm taking Mahomes.
You score more points with Mahomes and Peterson, Adrian Peterson on a regular basis, or do you score more points with Jonathan Taylor and Josh Allen?
You're scoring Josh Allen.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Story.
And if
I
you got
get
him on your bench, then you don't have to trade for Mahomes. You can just keep Jonathan Taylor and use Josh Allen. So it's what your roster needs really and calls for. And I'm a guy that likes balance on his roster. Like I tend to wait for quarterbacks till later rounds because I'm trying to
As you should.
Yeah, right. So there's a plethora of good quarterbacks that can score for you on a consistent basis, on a weekly basis. And you can sometimes get better position players, running backs, which are a premium, wide receivers, and you add them together, and then you get a quarterback like a Josh Allen who gives, in my league, maybe an average of 40 a week, but then you've got Mahomes who gives 50 or plus a week. But the running back situation and the wide receiver situation isn't that good because I put everything into Mahomes. So I'm a balanced guy. So whatever your roster needs, you just have to look at your quarterback and your running back situation and see what works for you best. But I wouldn't trade Mahomes necessarily or Chark because I think Chark is a good wide receiver. And I think when he comes back.
And I did see that he is in a PPF league, so usually running backs are pretty premium in those type of leagues.
That's what I'm in, yeah.
So, and Xander did pop up and say he had Mixon, Johnson, and Robertson as his running backs.
So go get Mahomes.
Yeah, so
get Mahomes.
Yeah.
So, give all three of those away for Mahomes as a matter.
Shit, don't do that.
So, you guys want to hear some absurd trades? Like my man Jameson, the Mike and Mike Man-Hour fantasy football team. Jameson keeps wanting Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady on my bench. So for those of you guys that are new here, I did draft 3 quarterbacks by mistake. My wife blackballed me. My son was crying, and she said, "Go change his diaper." I'm like, no, I got a draft. So I panicked, and I picked Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers back to back because it was a snake draft, and it just blew my mind that I did that. I'm like, oh shit, I fucked up, right? But Jameson, his quarterback is Cam Newton, and he keeps offering me Deshaun Watson, Cam Newton, and a plethora of other players that are no names, and he is trying to get Mike Evans, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady from me. Should I even think about trading? I mean, first of all, I am going to trade one of those 2 quarterbacks, but should I trade Mike Evans?
Yeah. What your receivers look like?
Yes, I would package Evans and Brady. You're going to get more bang for your buck because of the connection value. Yep. That's what I would do. I'm going to keep Aaron Rodgers because I honestly believe this is the best of the last. What do I want to say? This is the highest season he will have the rest of his career, stats wise.
That's because he's retiring at the end of the year when Patrick Mahomes beat his ass.
I wouldn't doubt it. And they can go do some more commercials together. But
my receivers are Calvin Ridley, Keelan Allen, and then I have Zeke Ingram, and then I have Jared Cook tied in, and I have Aaron Jones at my flex, and on the bench I have DK Metcalf, Cooper, then Mike Evans. Yeah, and then Fuller,
you're set, bro.
You're good. Yeah,
the big thing that I love about your roster right now is that you got Keenan Allen, and with Herbert coming into the fold, I mean, you look at the target share that Keenan Allen is getting now. That you got Tyrod with a punctured lung, just chilling in the freaking ER right now. I love that Herbert coming in. That adds so much value. Get rid of Evans because really, if you look at Evans, he does have statistically good seasons, especially last season, but there were still those goose eggs in there. Yep. You're not going to get that with the majority, like a DK and stuff like that. They're still going to put up 10 on the
That's
floor.
That's what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about I like balance on my bench. It's like I'll take 2 second-tier wide receivers if I can get them that can produce, 30-plus points a game for me as opposed to taking one superstar who's only going to give me 20 points a game. That's my thinking. It works well for me, but your roster's set, man. You should be pulling that before we get off the air.
Yeah, so Xander did say he did pull the trade with the Patrick Mahomes trade that he was talking about. So congratulations, Xander. You are going to get a W this week. Speaking of W's this week, Cindy, I'm coming for you, baby. You are not going to be undefeated by the end of the year. Hey, when you guys got a couch I can sleep on? Because after I
Oh,
whoop your
I was
ass-
just texting my wife right now. We're actually getting ours. Our cushions are getting dry cleaned. We're getting new carpet tomorrow. So no, the couch is out of commission, Buck.
Dang.
We got
Dog-
a cat. We got a
the
cat
dog-
bed though.
The dogs
Fine.
were ours up, so dogs
Yeah.
were ours.
Brilliant.
All right, guys, that is going to be it for today's show. Mike and Mike Man Hour, live, raw, and uncut sports talk. Matt Benz, as always, thank you for being on.
Hey,
Twist
Vince,
Sports
good
Talk.
meeting you, buddy.
Hey, good to meet you too, Coach.
Every Tuesday, we try to have Matt Benz on, guys.
Yeah.
So join us for the NFL Power Rankings Tuesday show. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. East Coast time. You guys have a great night.
Be blessed, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.